Where the snow ends, the forest world begins. Towering forests replace bare rock. Thick mist replaces open skies. Hidden beneath some of Earth's greatest mountain ranges, ancient forests have remained isolated for thousands of years. Protected by glaciers, endless winter, extreme altitude, powerful winds, and landscapes that still keep much of the modern world away. Today, we're exploring 5 of the world's most isolated mountain forests. Southern Andean Yungas. Some forests are hidden by distance, others by ice. But the Southern Andean Yungas are hidden by something that can erase the world in seconds. Mist. Clinging to the eastern slopes of the Andes, between Bolivia and northern Argentina, this forest forms a green wall between the high mountains and the lowlands below. From a distance, it looks almost peaceful, a soft band of cloud, a living forest wrapped around the mountains. But inside, the landscape changes fast. Warm air rises from the lowlands. It hits the Andes, and suddenly, the forest disappears beneath thick fog, rain, and moving clouds. This is a cloud forest, a place where trees are covered in moss. Branches carry orchids and ferns, and the ground is so wet that every step can feel unstable. The Southern Andean Yungas are not isolated because they are empty. They are isolated because the mountains make them difficult to cross. Steep slopes drop into narrow valleys. Rain can turn trails into mud, and during the wet season, entire roadsides can collapse without warning. Landslides and flash floods are some of the greatest dangers here. A path that looks safe in the morning can be gone by afternoon. Even mountain roads through the Yungas have become famous for their danger, where fog, cliffs, and narrow mountain routes leave almost no room for mistakes. But this dangerous forest is also one of the richest ecosystems in the Andes. Hidden in the mist are spectacled bears, the only bears native to South America. Jaguars still move through the lower forests, and high above the valleys, Andean condors ride the wind along the mountain ridges. Here, the forest is alive at every level. But it never fully opens itself to humans. The fog hides distance. The rain changes the ground. And the mountains decide who can pass. That is why the Southern Andean Yungas remain one of South America's most mysterious mountain forests. A place where the jungle rises into the clouds, and the clouds never truly leave. Great Bear Rainforest. Every autumn, something extraordinary begins. Millions of salmon leave the Pacific Ocean swimming against powerful currents, returning to the very rivers where they were born. Many never make it, because waiting along these rivers is one of the greatest gatherings of predators anywhere on Earth. This is the Great Bear Rainforest. Stretching along the rugged coast of British Columbia, it is one of the largest remaining temperate rainforests on the planet. Unlike most forests, its lifeblood comes from the sea. Each year, the returning salmon feed grizzly bears, black bears, bald eagles, wolves, and countless other animals. What remains is carried deep into the forest, enriching the soil that supports giant western red cedars and Sitka spruce, some of which have stood here for centuries. Even one of the forest's most famous residents owes its survival to this remarkable ecosystem. The spirit bear. a rare white-coated black bear found almost nowhere else on Earth. Nearby, coastal wolves roam beaches instead of open plains. They swim between islands, search for shellfish, and hunt along the shoreline shaped by the tides. Reaching this forest is a challenge in itself. There are no highways crossing its vast wilderness. Many areas can only be reached by boat or seaplane, where deep fjords, scattered islands, and relentless Pacific storms have kept much of the landscape beyond easy human access. And once you're here, the dangers quickly become real. Cold rain can last for days. Dense fog can erase the coastline within minutes. The Pacific's icy waters can trigger hypothermia soon after an accident. And in the dense undergrowth, encounters with grizzly bears are always a possibility. Here, the forest doesn't begin at the shoreline. It begins in the ocean. And every year, the sea returns to breathe life back into the trees. Alaska rainforest. From above, it looks like two different worlds. Rivers of ice spill down from towering mountains, stopping only a short distance from forests so dense that sunlight barely reaches the ground. Yet these worlds are not separated. They exist side by side. This is the Alaska rainforest, where one of Earth's largest temperate rainforests grows beneath some of North America's greatest ice fields. Across southeastern Alaska, the immense Tongass National Forest and parts of the Chugach National Forest form a landscape unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. Ancient Sitka spruce and western hemlock thrive in cold, rain-soaked valleys, while only a few kilometers away, massive glaciers continue carving the mountains they have shaped for thousands of years. Nothing here stays still for long. Glaciers crack without warning. Walls of ice collapse into icy waters. Entire valleys are slowly reshaped as the frozen landscape continues its relentless movement. For anyone exploring this wilderness, the greatest danger isn't what lives in the forest, it's the land itself. Deep glacial crevasses can remain hidden beneath fresh snow. Steep, rain-soaked slopes become dangerously unstable. Dense fog can swallow mountains, coastlines, and narrow fjords within minutes, leaving even experienced pilots and boat crews waiting for the weather to change. And because so much of this wilderness has no road access, reaching many areas still depends on boats or float planes navigating one of the most rugged coastlines in North America. Here, the forest doesn't compete with the ice. It survives beside it. A rare meeting of two powerful worlds, where ancient rainforest and living glaciers continue shaping each other season after season. Every forest we've explored has revealed a different challenge, different landscapes, different dangers, and a different story written by nature itself. So far, which forest has impressed you the most? And which one would you actually dare to explore? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's continue our journey. Patagonian Andean forests. The farther south you go, the wilder the world becomes. Stretching along the southern Andes of Chile and Argentina, the Patagonian Andean forests stand between towering mountains, massive glaciers, and the relentless weather of the southern hemisphere. This is one of the last great temperate forests on Earth, a place where ancient woodlands have survived at the edge of an untamed landscape for thousands of years. Among them stand the legendary alerce trees, Some are more than 3,000 years old, making them among the oldest living trees on the planet. Beneath their towering canopy, southern beech forests blanket valleys carved by glaciers long before humans ever arrived. Hidden within these forests lives one of South America's rarest mammals, the huemul, an endangered deer found almost nowhere else on Earth. Its survival depends on these remote mountain forests, where steep terrain and limited human access have protected the last remaining populations. But Patagonia never stays calm for long. Powerful winds sweeping north from Antarctica can transform the landscape within minutes. Heavy rain, sudden snowfall, and rapidly changing temperatures make even experienced hikers think twice before entering the backcountry. Rockfalls and landslides remain constant hazards along mountain roads and remote valleys, especially after severe storms. Many parts of these forests are still incredibly difficult to reach. Beyond the national parks, vast stretches of wilderness remain far from towns, with few roads and very limited rescue access once the weather turns. Here, nature is never truly at rest. The wind keeps moving, the mountains keep rising, and the forests continue to endure at the very edge of the world. Siberian taiga of the Altai Mountains. Some forests reveal their secrets through sound, others through movement. But in the Altai, the first thing you notice is the silence. Stretching across the remote frontiers of Russia, Mongolia, and China, the Siberian taiga of the Altai Mountains is one of the largest remaining mountain wildernesses in northern Asia. Here, endless forests of Siberian larch, pine, and cedar blanket rugged valleys beneath snow-covered peaks, creating a landscape that has changed remarkably little for thousands of years. Distances are measured not in kilometers, but in days. Many parts of the Altai remain far beyond permanent settlements, where rough mountain tracks eventually disappear into vast wilderness. Once you leave the last road behind, nature takes over completely. This immense forest is home to some of northern Asia's most iconic wildlife. Siberian brown bears roam the valleys. Altai wolves patrol enormous territories. Siberian lynx move silently through the taiga. Morel deer migrate between forests and mountain meadows. While high above the tree line, Siberian ibex navigate cliffs that seem almost impossible to climb. Yet the greatest challenge here has never been the wildlife. It is the wilderness itself. Long winters blanket the mountains in deep snow. Temperatures can plunge far below freezing, and the sheer scale of the landscape means that rescue may be hundreds of kilometers away. While it may not be the single most isolated forest on Earth, the Siberian taiga of the Altai Mountains remains one of the most remote, inaccessible, and climatically extreme mountain wildernesses on the planet. Here, nature has never needed to adapt to humanity. Humanity has always been forced to adapt to nature. And perhaps that is what makes the Altai feel so extraordinary. Not because it is beyond our reach, but because it still belongs almost entirely to the wild. The farther we explore, the more we discover that every forest has a story waiting to be told. Some hide remarkable wildlife. Some protect ancient ecosystems. Others have survived in ways that still puzzle scientists today. If you enjoy discovering the hidden side of our planet, subscribe to NA and Beyond Earth, and join us on our next journey beyond the ordinary. Because beyond the trees lies an entire world, and we've only just begun to explore it.